Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Local Lowdown podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff and I am joined over there by
Danny Shannon,
Danny.
sir.
Alright, there we go. Make sure your audio is working now. Alright, so today we are going to be talking. Episode 3, part 1. Pardon me. Episode 3, part 1. We have a lot of stuff to break down. We're going to talk about the following in part 1. So the MLB Draft, first off, we will start there, and then the NBA Draft, and then the NBA Cup, and then that is where we will make the cut for part number 1. So the Pittsburgh Pirates obviously had the first pick in the draft there, and let me make this official. Hold on. Take the rundown off the screen. All right, let's make it official. With the first pick in the 2022 Major League Baseball Draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates select Paul Skeens, a pitcher from LSU. Danny, your thoughts on the Pirates drafting of Paul Skeens?
Zach, great to be with you as always, man. And I love the pick. I really love the pick. To be honest, I had Paul Skeens ahead of Dylan Cruz. Obviously, you cannot go wrong with either of them, and I'm super glad that the Pirates picked Paul Skeens as opposed to what was rumored in the days leading up to the draft, such as Max Clark and Wyatt Langford.
Yeah.
Wyatt Langford, I wouldn't have as much of an issue with because he's from Florida. But what makes Paul Skeens such a surefire pick is you know exactly what you're gonna get. You know, he's a hard thrower. He can hit 103 on the radar gun. You know, I mean, I just think there's so much upside. And I am really looking forward to see Paul Skeens in a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform on the MLB draft coverage. I believe Chris Burke said Paul Skeens is the type of player that you build statues of. So I'm super excited to see Paul Skeens.
Yeah, I am. I'm real excited to see him as well. And Danny, I do have one question for you. Also, our ticker down the bottom of our screen is brought to you by Danny Shampoo himself. He typed that for us today, so thank you for that. Also, we do have to
Zach, I
apologize.
appreciate the shout out, man.
Yes, sir. We do have to apologize. Last night, we did have some technical difficulties while attempting to bring you live coverage of the Major League Baseball All Star Game. I had some technical problems. My internet decided to give out, and then that on top of there was a litany of problems. Danny was not Danny was not in there, but he was going to be. But then I just ended up cutting the whole thing. So we are going to bring you live coverage of Friday. This Friday, we're going to bring you live coverage of the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the San Francisco Giants. I believe Friday night that game will begin at 7 o'clock. Coverage will begin around 6:45 or 6:50. The broadcast, which has now been removed from the YouTube channel, was 23 minutes long, most of it commercials. So look forward to that this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either over here, I think over here on our YouTube channel, because I cannot multi-stream. I learned that lesson the hard way last evening. All right. So Paul Skeens, Danny, when do you think Paul Skeens will? Well, a two-part question. When do you think Paul Skeens should be in the major leagues? And B, when do you think the Pirates will call him up to the major
Zach, it is so funny that you asked that same question. I was about to pose that same question to you after you finished that little promotional bit. So great minds think alike there, my friend. But Zach, yeah, great question, Zach. I would like to see Paul Skeens um in the early part of the 2024 season. Now, I know that that is a lot to ask of a guy, who just finished a dominating performance at LSU, and he's got to kind of get used to, uh, being in the just professional baseball world. But I would really like to see Paul Skeens up here by 2024 because I mean he was so dominant at LSU, and I just think Paul Skeens is a guy that throws super hard. So we know that players can't throw in their in their prime when they're in their prime. That's a window, right? Paul Skeens is in that window right now. So I do not want um, the Pirates to kind of quote unquote waste time with him down in the major leagues. Because I would rather it be kind of a trial by fire scenario as opposed to kind of easing him in. Now I know that's a lot to ask. So if I had to guess, the Pirates will probably wait until the midway point of the 2024 season. Kind of similar to how they brought Henry Davis Henry Davis up. I would like to see pretty early, if not opening day. Yeah.
Yeah, and I concur. I agree with that statement. I think he needs to be up here as soon as he's ready. Danny, where do you think he's going to start as far as in the Pirates farm system?
In the Pirates, that's it. I would think I would honestly think they're probably going to start him at something like Double A, and then he's probably going to strike out 10 guys in like 5 innings, and then they're going to win Triple A, and then he's going to dominate there. Zach, I just think like um, it's hard not to get super excited with a guy like Paul Skeens because this is a guy we've never seen a duo like Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, who was drafted number 2 overall to the Nationals. We've never seen a duo like this in college baseball for a long time. I think that's great for the game, but I also think like that I cannot help but thinking, okay, maybe 2025 is the year that the Pirates compete, and maybe, just maybe, is Paul Skeens the pitcher for the Pirates' first playoff win in a while. It's hard not to think like that, Zach.
Yeah, and also my last question, then you can pose a question to me if you have them. Is what kind of accolades do you think that or excuse me, Paul Skeens can accrue here in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, no, Zach. Another awesome question, and I think that's what if you look at the Pittsburgh sports sphere these last couple of days, everybody's kind of been forecasting predictions, and like I said just now, it's really hard not to get really excited. Now, obviously, we cannot set super high expectations out of the gate. I mean, after all, rookies, sometimes need time to kind of adjust to the MLB way of life. But Zach, I think that Paul Skeens will win at least one Cy Young in his time here in Pittsburgh. I just think there does not seem to be a better pitcher coming out of his draft class, and I think the MLB is becoming a younger league. The Pirates are becoming a younger team. I mean, we just saw Henry Davis and hopefully Nick Gonzalez and this is what makes me so excited, Zach, as a Pirates fan. Is if we get Paul Skeens up here, if we get Endy Rodriguez, if we get Quinn Priester, O'Neal Cruz, like these are all young guys. Brian Hayes is still young. It's all young guys. And I think this was probably a job-saving pick for Ben Sherrington.
Yeah. All right. Next, we are going to talk about. Well, Danny is going to talk about the MLB Draft. Danny, do you want to make the Spurs first overall pick potential as well?
Sure, Zach.
Hold on.
This is gonna be a tough name, but I think I got this.
You ready? I'll
so
tell you what.
We're talking about the 2023 NBA draft.
Hold on. I'll tell you when. Ready?
All right.
And go ahead.
With the first pick in the 2023 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Metz 92 in France. Zach, okay. Victor Wembanyama is a generational talent. The guy 5 and do he can shoot. I mean, what can't this guy do, Zach? I am, super excited to see kind of what Victor Wembanyama does here because he's really since LeBron, he is the next chosen one, so to speak. He's the guy, for the San Antonio Spurs and for basketball, really. He really brought is just a generational talent. And moving on to kind of something interesting about the draft here too, Zach, was that 3 out of the 4 first round picks were from non-traditional four-year college universities. A lot of guys playing in the overtime elite league and a lot of guys playing overseas. So that is super interesting. But again, we just talked about how the Pirates, are a young team. Look, the NBA is kind of shifting to a new path. It always used to be the Dukes, the Kentuckys, the Kansases, and obviously those are still blue bloods. But Victor Wembanyama and guys like Asar and Amen Thompson are really showing that talent can come from different leagues. As far as we can talk a little bit about the summer league here because Victor Wembanyama after 2 games has been shut down. And Victor Wembanyama had a mixed summer league uh, debut and second game. Starting off with his debut, he had something along the lines of 9 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple blocks, which people were just up in arms about. If you're not a big NBA fan or summer league fan,
like me,
I mean, people were just
like me.
yeah, people were just exactly, Zach. People were. Hopefully, I'm giving you a good summer here, but people were really up in arms and just saying that Victor Wembanyama is not as good as everybody thought. And meanwhile, he almost scored double digits, and he went 2 for 13 from the field. But then Zach, 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and like 5 blocks or something like that. I do not have this official stat line, and for that I apologize. I got to do better in the future with that. But I mean, Victor Wembanyama showed in his game what type of a player he really can be, and again, that's a generational talent. I mean, he's the type of guy that you can really become the face of the league in recent years, in years to come here. And I'm just super excited to watch that, man, for sure.
All right, our third and final subject of part one will be the NBA Cup. We have plenty of stuff, but we do not want to be here for 45 minutes. We don't want to force you to listen for 45 minutes of us two talking heads. So, next, the NBA in-season tournament known as the NBA Cup coming next year. Danny, you want to talk to the people a little bit about that and how that will work?
100%, Zach. Yeah, we just finished talking about the summer league here, and the summer league has grown in. I would say grown in popularity as a chance to see draft picks and see young talent prove themselves and just have the opportunity to be on be on a stage where there's really not a ton of sports going on. So you might as well throw in the summer league. And I on this podcast said have been critical about the NBA's 82 game season. How that sometimes it feels like guys kind of take it easy when they're playing a non-conference opponent or maybe a not great team on a random Tuesday night where they don't have to play very much defense or things of that nature. But that's why I'm so excited for the NBA Cup mid-season tournament, Zach. It The NBA has had trouble drumming up interest in the full 82 game season because 82 games, I mean, we know from hockey that can sometimes be it's a grind for the players and sometimes, if a team is not doing well, fans lose interest. We know that all too well with the Pirates, which is
Yep.
two basically 2 game seasons. Um, so so I think the NBA Open Cup is a tremendous, tremendous idea by the NBA and by Commissioner Adam Silver. And what I really, really like about this is that all 30 teams are in contention for the NBA Cup, Jack.
Hmm.
And it's really, really. I think that it's the pool the sorry the pools have already been announced, and it's really cool because they really just kind of randomize the how the 15 teams per conference is going to go. So it'll be 5 teams, three pools, if you will, on each side, and the top two advance. So eight end up advancing. I think that is a great way of kind of bridging the gap between the start of the regular season and the start of the NBA playoffs, because I really just think that fans, every team has a chance, and at the end of the day, that's all that fans kind of want, regardless of the market, regardless of everything like that. So I think that it's going to be motivating the players to kind of add it to their legacy of kind of another accolade. You want to win as much as you can. The NBA Cup is a way to do that. And $1 million per player is a pretty hefty sum of cash. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to watching it play out, man.
All right, Danny. Any final thoughts for the Who before we wrap up part number one?
No, Zach, just always really enjoy talking sports with you, my friend, and I appreciate everybody for listening.
All right, a couple things here. Be sure to tune in for part two. That will be at a date and time to be determined. We will have live coverage once again of the Pittsburgh Pirates versus San Francisco Giants. That will be broadcast here on YouTube at around that game begins around 7, so we will start around 6:50, 6:55, somewhere around there. Hopefully with no internet problems this time. Anyway, on behalf of Danny Shanholzer, my name is Zach Bischoff. We will see you next time right here on the Local Lowdown